to Maritime Destination. Today we have Captain Girish Phadnis. He is a Director and Country Head of MTM Ship Management India, and he is a MASSA Chairman also. Welcome to Maritime Destination, Captain Phadnis.
Good morning. Thank you very much for this invite. Pleasure talking to you as usual.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time. First, I'd like to congratulate you for being appointed as MASSA Chairman, and we wish you all the best in this journey. Now, my first question to you, Captain Phadnis, having no formal position in the industry during COVID, you played an important role in sign-on and sign-off of seafarers. Kindly share with our viewers about this mission impossible, considering the situation of that period, because it was almost impossible to do that job, what you did.
Well, you're again bringing out memories which I feel most of us would not like to recollect and go through that situation that everybody went through all over the world. I mean, it was a situation which was, it is said that necessity is the mother of invention. So during those days when COVID really hit and there was a total lockdown, it was just a thought which came when I was sitting on my terrace when I saw one of the airlines fly by. When these guys can, some airline is flying, why can't we do something for our own seafarers? That's how the thought started. See, in those days, now if I recollect, there was no communication with people. They just WhatsApp and, industry, maybe we were not interconnected. So who was trying to do this or which were the others who were trying to make this flight? There was no idea. So it was just a very blank thought that can we have a chartered flight? Why can't we have a chartered flight? So it was, see, all this brings out a lot of pros and cons, good thoughts and bad thoughts come in. And it is during these difficult times only we get to know the nature of people, when you are in a situation. But anyway, having said that, luckily I was associated with Mr. Ajay Singh, who is the owner of SpiceJet at that time. And because of my involvement with the Indian Olympic Association through my sport, he was there from boxing as a president. So we used to meet quite often. And his sister-in-law used to be rowing in one of the clubs in Calcutta.
Okay.
So I called her up and asked, can I speak to Ajay and find out if you can charter some flights? This is why not. It's a new concept. Let's try that. So we did contact SpiceJet. That was the first airline that we did. And, by and by, we got to know that Captain Halbe from MASSA was doing a lot of trying the same thing. Bigger companies like Anglo-Eastern, Fleet Management, Bernard Schulte, Synergy, all of them were trying to get some flights, but it was not popular in the initial stages. And that is how the first flight took off. And like you were asking whether not being in the industry, yes. See, I always believe that maritime and our community, shipping community, we work a lot on belief, trust, personal connections, word of mouth, and honoring what we have said. That is how we generally work. Especially at the senior levels, we do call up one another, and that's what I did. So even though my association was not there with any company at that point of time, I had my own company. I called up Manish Pradhan uh, from Mangalore was there, Anshul was there, then Captain Basin, Sankalp, and a lot of synergy people, Captain Ramikar from Fleet. And they said, why not? Let's start. And that is how the whole journey started. And rest was history. I think we did a lot of flights all the way. There were two rounds initial, I think, between all the companies, we must have uh, transported over maybe 50,000, 60,000 seafarers.
It's a huge number.
Yeah, it's a huge number. And you see, during that period, I must say, I got a lot of flying from my family because I used to be there at the airport at every flight. and that encouraged a lot of the senior management from various companies. And like when this guy who is not connected with any of the companies is there at the airport, I got Prashant coming sometimes, Manish Pradhan came in, Anshul came in, somebody from Synergy came in. So it was a joint effort, and
Right.
it is that feeling. It is not only the companies. You see, it was a support which was generated from the industry, from the government. Permissions were required. DG helped a lot. DG's office was very helpful. The MBA was very helpful. So getting permissions, and I cannot not mention Atul Kulkarni. You might know him, of course. Most of us know. He was a man who used to really, like we say, khadkao the telephone when it was really required with the embassies overseas. Well, very well connected and extremely helpful person. Extremely.
Mhm. So,
So that was the
what?
saga of the. I hope we don't have to see that those days again. And people have gone through a lot of trouble during that period. But it was airlines like SpiceJet, I think Indigo and Qatar Airways, who really supported, and it was business for them, of course. Uh, but it was good.
Did you got any response from the seafarers during that period that because it was almost difficult for them, somewhere since 9 months, somewhere on ship from
They
10
were
months, 12 months.
Yes, yes. We used to get calls because it was a common platform where people used to connect, and we used to always say, "Come through your company," because there were rules to be followed. There are systems to be done, and yes, we did also did a lot of work for the embassy. We allowed them to fill in the empty seats on the way back into the country, uh,
Mhm.
which the embassies could do in
Mhm.
Sri Lanka, in Doha, and that is how we got in a lot of people also.
Mhm. Uh, Anything else you would like to add in that context?
Nothing much. It is something like, memories. Now it's become distant memory. But
Mhm.
I wouldn't like to dwell on that too much. It was a time we did what we had to do, and certain things didn't work well, but it was okay. That's the way it is. But we were happy to have being able to help a lot of seafarers, and I think it was a collective effort of a lot of companies who worked together towards this uh, relentlessly, and nobody met anybody. You see, that is the beauty of this whole operation. Uh, I think I might be one of the very few who was there at the airport at every flight which took off from Bombay or landed in Bombay. So it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling to be able to do something.
Now you are MASSA chairman, Captain Furnace. Uh, what will be your priorities? It's a has a huge reputation. MASSA has huge reputation. So what are your plans for this?
See, being able to be sitting at the helm of MASSA, it itself is an honor. Uh, MASSA itself is an old organization consisting almost of 35, 37 companies, and all the major companies are members here. And along with it comes a lot of responsibility. The whole concept is what can we do for our mariners? That is the main thing. How do we support each other and try to do good? See, the good part, what is happening in the recent times, is that uh, organizations like MASA, FOSMA, INSA, MUI, all are working together, which was something which we've always hoped to happen. The people sitting at all the various helms,
Hmm.
any representation put to the administration is put jointly. It is not me and you. We are all trying to work towards the common cause, how to help the member lines, how to help the seafarers. That is one of the main things. And yes, with MASA, I think we have one of the oldest training institutes.
Hmm.
Uh, on the priority list is that we are trying to revamp the whole thing. It has served its purpose. The present location And Belapur has served its purpose during its time. We have huge amount of students who have passed through our institute there. It's time to revamp, upgrade ourselves, and that is what is a priority on our system. We're all working towards this, and I'm sure something will come good out of it.
Now, except training, what are other issues you would like to raise?
See, we are taking up whatever issues that come as a response from our members. Plus, what we're trying to do is, when it comes to visas, when it comes to SIDs, approaching the authorities, how to resolve things. Uh, See, it's only when you work collectively would the administration also start giving some heed to your advice. And the people that we have in our system collectively are with so much of abundance of knowledge. So basically, what either in our training and doing, the main issue that what we're trying to work towards is what are our industry issues, and how do we help the companies? We
Yes.
are right now working on the visas issues, getting the visas for various countries. We're trying to approach the US embassy to give a long-term visa for seafarers. Like approaching the DG shipping for assisting us with the fines which are being imposed in Brazil for not having the SIDs. So there are various verticals that we're all working together, and I'm sure something positive will only come out of all this.
You are a sportsman, so sportsman culture is very famous. I think it will help the industry a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So we're trying to work towards getting the visas for our seafarers. We're approaching various uh, countries. Like
Yes.
we are trying to get something done from Spain, trying to approach the US embassy. So that is what the main focus is right now. How to address our problems the member lines are facing and how do we resolve them. So we're putting all efforts towards that side.
True. And you talked about the Belapur Institute. Are you planning to shift the location also, or
That is a point in the agenda because, like I said earlier, the Belapur Institute was very good at a point of time, but as time changes, it has outgrown its utility. And one of the thoughts is to see if we can shift the location while keeping the convenience of all our faculty and as well as the boys who come to attend the college. So keeping all that in mind, we're trying to look at some alternative space also.
okay, uh, beyond Belapur
Yes, somewhere around
possibility?
in and around Belapur. We don't want to move out of that area because it's a very convenient location.
Correct. Now there are some reports about the corruption, and it's hurting the image of industry because it's clearly said that no job without money. So how do you see that? How and what efforts will put to clean that image?
No jobs in India without money is a very irresponsible statement which was made. You see, I mean, corruption is a topic which we are all facing, which we all have to face. It is there not only in India, all over the world,
Hmm.
in some form or the other. Correct.
Hmm. Hmm.
So to say no jobs without money
Hmm.
is a very objectionable statement made
True.
just because of a few maybe agents or RPCL holders whose ethics allow them to do things of this kind does not mean that all our companies which we are operating, which is a major manpower supplying country, to make this statement. So basically, I think we have already responded through Marix our views on this topic, and it is something that has to be. See, you have to be able to look at your face. People who are actually taking money or using these corrupt practices of doing it. I can only talk for myself and our company or the companies that I know of, that we try to ensure that these kind of things do not happen in our system.
But now ex-DG Mr. Shetty is part of MACN. That's also about corruption only. So there is something that's why these associations are needed, no?
Yes.
Like MACN.
Yes, yes. We are all supporting him. Deepak Shetty, whenever he has his meetings here, discussions, we are all a part of it. And you see, it's an effort. We all have to put an effort to put the wrong things right. It is not going to happen by one person. It has to be a collective effort, say no to corruption. So that's the battle which will take its
Yeah,
own time. But at least the good part is it has started. People
correct,
are
correct,
voicing. That is what
correct.
is important. Something which was dormant and kept under the carpet has now come out in the open. Thanks to people like Deepak Shetty who are taking this cause forward. Correct.
Correct.
So that will help. Of course, it will help. Everything takes its time, but it will help finally. Like they say, no, the truth prevails.
So we can't say straight away that there is no corruption. There is, but there is need to work on that.
See, corruption there is in every stage and every part of our
Yeah,
system.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now it could be in any form. It is not only about taking money.
True. Yeah,
So,
that's true.
so to say that it is not there, I mean, it's like keeping a blanket on your eyes and saying कि ये तो होता ही नहीं है.
True,
Correct.
true, true.
The point comes at the end of the day, what can you do to stop this?
Stop this.
How can you contribute? So like I always feel, contributions start at home.
Correct,
Do it in your own company. If each one starts doing that,
correct.
of course we'll see a change.
True. That's true. That's important. Now, sir, one more thing is now there are a lot of trained unemployed seafarers. How the association like FOSWA, MASSA, all are you trying to absorb them?
See, this is a क्या बोलते हैं? It's a round robin situation. It's been going on for years.
Correct.
We are all at a juncture where we see so many institutes cropping up.
True.
Everything has to be regulated.
True.
The regulations should be in place as to how many institutes we give permission. See, DG has done a lot of work in the last uh, few years when they have reduced the capacity, they have cancelled some institutes' licenses. Perfect. That is what they have done from the authorities' side. What we can do from us, we try to observe. We try to observe wherever we can, because companies, most of the companies, except companies like Great Eastern or Executive or Anglo, who have their own training institutes, we all take from the various institutes.
True.
Correct. So that's the only way they can keep on getting absorbed.
Correct.
MASSA and FOSMA are also trying to see that the placement through IMEC is going to take place for cadets. We're working on that scheme where Indian cadets would be placed through these two organizations on owners who are not recruiting Indians at this point of time. So that opens a new avenue for these for employment and for these cadets.
True. Anything else you'd like to add, Captain Phadnis, to our viewers and the industry?
No, it's been nice talking to you, and like you were mentioning about sports. You see, any sports person,
Yes.
when you involve your life towards any discipline,
Correct.
it also disciplines your personal life.
True.
The dedication and time that you have put
True.
at any point of your life, it becomes your lifestyle.
True.
It becomes your lifestyle, and then it becomes implementation of your lifestyle into your daily practice. So you have to be able to preach what you speak.
True.
So that is very important. So honesty, as you said, whether we are being honest, whether we are true to our words, it is inbound. जो dishonest है वो dishonest रहेगा. आप जो भी करना. Correct.
Correct.
We are not saying that we are righteous and we are right all the time. Of course, we've all made our mistakes. That's part of life. But the point is, let us try to do the good for the industry. Let us try to do good for wherever we are, and if we are sitting in a position, let us try to do something positive.
Correct. So now we'll see the sportsman spirit in the industry. That would be
I hope I will try to get all the companies to get more involved into mainstream sport and be involved with the community. You see, that is one of the issues what I've always raised. We have good seminars, we have a lot of events, but it's all within our community. We are all preaching. The people who already preach, they know, we know what we are talking about.
true.
I'm trying to see how we could venture out into the society where people come in and join us,
True.
where we are known as a mariner for what we are. See, sadly, so outside world does not know much about the maritime fraternity because we have been in our own cocoon, in our own happy moments.
Mm-hmm.
We have this is you see the last seminar which was done by Marek's Kamal
Mm-hmm.
Chadda. That's the, after a long time I saw a lot of people, especially ladies from various
Different part of
parts of
industry.
our yes. So that is the start. We have to do that. We have to involve the common man or people who are well connected in the society into our maritime fraternity for them to spread the word of and get them to first understand what we are
True. True.
and how we can intermingle with them. You know, well, it's a process. Doesn't happen overnight. It'll take its time, but I'm sure with the support of everybody around, uh, we look forward for मतलब अच्छे दिन तो आएंगे.
अच्छे दिन आएंगे. Thank you so much, sir, and wish you all the best in your journey as a MASSA chairman. Thank you so much for giving us time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gagan. Thanks for your time. Thanks for calling me on your show. Pleasure talking to you.